Our communities are incredible playgrounds. For someone like me who is a self-proclaimed community builder and instigator, I find a community to be a place that can be shaped, that can be morphed, that can be measured, can be mapped, that can be manipulated, and that can be built up, broken down, and rebuilt again. Today I want to talk about an idea that I think should be really simple for you guys to implement into your lives. You don't have to do anything different from what you're already doing. It's nothing radical, but it's a little concept that I think if we could implement it into our lives here and there, it can make a radical difference in your community and the communities all over the world. The question I've been thinking about for a long time is, what role do communities play in helping individuals discover their passions? Now, I think we'd all agree, especially people being here at TED, that we want to spend our time around people who are engaged, doing engaging work, that are on fire for life. But what the data continues to show is that Americans are more disengaged than ever. Gallup's been doing research for the last 15 years of 30 million Americans, and it still shows that more than 2/3 of the working population in the United States is actively disengaged at work. What that means is that 2/3 of the population, while they're at work, is not thinking about work at all. They're thinking about something else. I have no idea what you guys are thinking about. Thinking about your passions, you're thinking about where you'd rather be and what you'd rather be doing. Now, the famous Alan Watts, professor and philosopher, would say that that's due to our economic and education system. He would say this: if you chase the money, you'll do work that you hate doing, only to go on doing the work that you hate doing. That's stupid. It's better to live a short life doing work that you enjoy doing than to go on living life in a miserable way. And he goes on to say, it's all retch and no vomit. But the reality there is saying that if you're doing work that you don't like doing, only to go on doing work that you don't like doing, you'll never reach your purpose. For a long time, I thought my purpose would be one of those moments where the clouds would part, the sun would come down, and it'd be like, do that. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to create a purpose for your life. Now, Peter Block, who is the sort of godfather of community building, would say that a community is the total sum of the conversations that happen within it. Now, I think I want to get real here for a second. What conversations are we having in our community? I never really realized the value of asking the right questions in my community until I was 22. Happened early in life for me. And I basically looked around Kansas City at my startup community, and I started saying, I don't like this. I don't like that everybody's fragmented. I don't know where to go. Started asking a lot of questions, and then I asked one question that started changing my life and the life of other entrepreneurs in my community, and it exploded from there. That question was, what if I could get Kansas City's entrepreneurs to drink 1 million cups of coffee? Now, I'll keep the story short. In less than 3 years, it exploded. It went to 75 cities across the country. We have over 400 volunteers with this program, and it's been really, really amazing. I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk is about the communities that I went into. Now, the communities that it's in are really important because they've created space to be open to new ideas on a weekly basis and to come out and support entrepreneurs. But the most important thing was that in every city I went to, I met community leaders that had a vision for an alternative reality for their community, but no one had asked them what it was or what they could do to help. Now, that's major, because when you think about 2/3 of a working population in the peak hours of their day not being present with what they're doing, you're talking about a lot of creative tension and a lot of opportunity. Now, my hypothesis is this. I think that in every community across the country, there is this pent-up tension And I don't know how to release it, but I'm going to tell you, I think it starts with a simple set of questions. And it's so easy to do nothing. It's so easy to be told that you don't have enough, really, to approach life in a scarce mindset, to say, I'm not the right person, I don't have enough money, I don't have the right skills to do this, but I'll stand here and tell you today that you are the right person, as good as anybody else sitting next to you. And the thing is that you just have to take action. You have to take the next step. So, for the last year, I've been having a lot of conversations, and I've kind of narrowed down to 6 questions that I really like. Instead of the, hey, how are you? How's it going? Oh, I'm fine. Things are good. Great. And walk on out, right? Like, that's really surface level. When you start looking at your close-knit friends and family, do you know what they want for their lives? If you don't, here's a set of questions. Describe to me your perfect day. For the last year, I've been having coffees with people and asking every single person to describe your perfect day. And the funny thing is no one ever says buying something or acquiring something. They always say that the best days that they spent are centered around generosity and hospitality. I think that says a lot about what brings life into our lives. The next question I would ask and encourage you to ask someone else is, what would you do if you weren't scared? I think we're all scared a little bit to realize our full potential. I know I am sometimes. Next question is, I wrote it on my hand. It was fine. What are you learning? This question is really important. What are you learning, and can you teach it to me? We are all lifelong learners. And the funny thing is, I found out with a lot of the TEDers, we all nerd out about something, right? Like, everyone nerds out about something. What are you learning, and can you teach it to me? That gives you an opportunity to have a really informed conversation and really to just see the person light up. And you'll usually be surprised. Don't ask me about space, because I'll nerd out about it. The next question is, what makes you awesome? And that's really just asking someone, what do you love about yourself? What do you appreciate about yourself? And you can really play into that and say, I noticed that in you. You know, like there's so many opportunities when you start asking these questions. The final 2 questions are, what's on repeat in your life? It's kind of a hard question because sometimes our lives aren't that pretty. Sometimes we fill up our lives so much that there's no room in the margins to actually do something new. In order for you to do something new, you'll have to remove something out of your life. And I think that by highlighting that and asking that to someone, you can actually really help relieve some of that tension and encourage them. And finally, the question that I always love to ask is, what can I do to help? And for what are you seeking permission? So I just want to make note of that. I know that I didn't have slides. I just wanted to talk with you guys today. But I'm going to be providing a download and a link and cards that you can download, print, and share in all of your communities. It'll be available later today. Just come and see me, and we can start this movement together. So in closing, I just want to say, I think that we can start a movement by changing the way that we're having our conversations, and that through inquiry, we can start creating action with a ripple effect. And anyway, thank you so much for your time.